Hello. This is a video that I don't think any of us four have ever wanted to make. It's a video about one of our friends, Cammy Cat Lover. Let me just give you some context. Before about, I'd say, October, everybody was fine and dandy with Cammy. We all thought she was pretty cool. She was very nice, she was very cool at art. I'm going to admit all those are true. At least in that time span. She was just honestly a very good person to hang around. We all loved her. But it was probably around October that we kind of noticed a few kind of flaws that were too major to kind of just put aside. Some of the events in this had actually happened prior. We just didn't really notice because of how cool we thought Cammy was. And most of the events happened after. This video is completely unscripted, and all of us are just speaking how we feel. Now, my idea is that we're going to do it each talking about our own experiences, starting with Jedi G. You're on the floor.
Hello. I think out of everyone here, I think everyone here's definitely had it worse than me with Cammy, but I'm gonna talk about my personal experiences with Cammy. I mean, that's what I'm supposed to do. Anyways, Cammy's personality was always something that was always really changing. She never had a set personality, which isn't that bad, but I feel like, it didn't change in a positive way. She always kind of acted like, sometimes she'd act like her, sometimes she'd just act completely off. Whenever I called with her, she always had something to complain about. She always used to complain about Goose and Butternog to me, which didn't make a lot of sense because Goose and Butternog are really good people, really good friends. But this kind of got so intense. I guess she just didn't like Goose and Butternog to the point where she basically made a separate Little Guys chat without them. If you know what the Little Guys is, it's our little silly friend group thing. Like Discord group chat. But basically, Cammy just made a different group chat for everyone apart from Goose and Butternog, and she added some of her own friends, which was really weird considering that she stated in the past that she didn't like having new people just inserted into the group. And she was inserting new people into the group by adding random people to that chat, but basically she kind of just said a lot of things about people which, like, behind their back, talking shit about them in my DMs. It was just really just didn't seem like her. She talked about how she didn't like the Little Guys anymore because it wasn't very active, and how she had this different chat where there were tons of messages, which was really, I just didn't feel like it was a fair comparison, considering the chat that she was talking about was full of people around her age, around 12 to 13, and when you're around that age, you're not as busy as someone older. Well, on our chat, we have a couple people on the older side, so of course they're going to be doing a lot more stuff because, you know, they have more responsibilities and stuff, generally a lot more homework, but I just didn't think it was that fair of a comparison, and she kind of, yeah. I don't have a lot to say, but I'm gonna pass it to Goose now.
Okay, hello. I should probably say this to start off with. This video is completely unscripted. I probably should have said that in the beginning. But, I mean, I think you can probably tell by this point. But, basically, my experiences with Cammy, like I said, up until a few months ago, great. I honestly really liked her as a person. She was pretty cool. But then I started noticing flaws. First of all, when I was still in the Object Show community, she tried taking near complete control of a show that was meant to be mine. She was I labeled her as a co-creator because she was a really good friend of mine, and I honestly thought that she would have some good creative decisions, which I'm going to admit, she did. But Cammy decided, hey, what if I just, like, make it my show instead? And because of this, she kept doing a bunch of things that I personally didn't want to do. She basically controlled some of the jokes in my show. She controlled kind of the humor. She controlled kind of the people who were getting in and out. She controlled the character designs too, and on top of that, called my character designs dog shit. Actual quote, by the way. It was in VC. But she was just always very power hungry. And when I tried making the second iteration of the show, I mean, I wanted her to help because, I mean, like I said, I at the time, I thought she was pretty cool. But what she did instead was basically chose all the characters, designed all the characters, got mad at me for adding a character she didn't want in, and while I would understand that if it was like, you know, an offensive character, it was literally, I think, like a weight. It was like a dumbbell. That's can't be offensive, unless if you're like, you know, opposed to working out or something. But something that could be kind of deemed offensive that I played was a game called Snoot Game. Now, the game is only considered offensive by people who haven't played it, is the simplest to put, because a synopsis of the plot will make it seem a lot more bigoted than it actually is. I actually really liked Snoot Game. It was a good game. It had great messaging, and genuinely just a great written game. I mean, if you can kind of ignore some of the more negative facets of it, it's honestly one of the best games I've ever played. It's just very controversial with the topic because, I mean, it had very controversial themes. I mean, before I say anything more, it was made by 4chan, which I think kind of just makes sense why it was a bit more controversial. But because of this, I decided to play it very frequently, and I decided to talk about it pretty frequently. And when I did, I usually got a lot of backlash from Cammy, who was kind of mad about it. Now, this would be acceptable. I'll admit I was being a bit annoying with it. But she would do pretty much the same thing with FNAF. Now, I'm going to say this completely controversially. I don't particularly like FNAF. It just simply doesn't seem fun to me. But she would keep rambling on and on about that, kind of similar to what I did in Snoot Game. I never stopped her, and I feel like if I don't stop you from talking about your special interest video game, I shouldn't be stopped from talking about mine. She also, you know, I feel like everybody here, besides Anim maybe, was just always venting about how much she didn't like other people in the group chat. In my DMs, which kind of, like, annoys me. I'm going to say this. I'm very open for people to, you know, kind of vent out to me. I can take a lot. Okay. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. But I'm fine if you need to vent to me and stuff. But like, she was doing it a lot more frequently than what needed to be, and it was always about kind of talking shit about like, oh yeah, Butterdog's being kind of a meanie, and like Jedi's being a meanie, and I'm like, no. But yeah, essentially that's what it kind of boils down to. I'm going to pass it off to Butterdog.
Hello, everybody. I've probably known Cammy Cat Lover the second longest, I would think. At first, and by at first I mean back in 2022, I mean, she was fine, you know. She made cool stuff. She went by Vinny. Though, over time, like after she changed to Cammy, we started having more frequent arguments. I know there's another controversy, which I won't name the person who's involved, but that she actually supported that person, and we got into an argument about that. I will admit, though, I was kind of being a bit of a bitch. But more recently, by recently I mean like last week, she sent me a message saying that she had left the Little Guys, which is our little group chat, which is entirely fine. I don't know why she did that, or at least I didn't at the time. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. And then she She says, I didn't feel good there, especially with Jedi. I'm starting to dislike him. And I'm sure there'll be like an image or something, but uh, I was very confused since I've known Jedi longer than I've known Cammy. And so I started to pry a little bit because she got mad over a fucking joke. It was insane. Cammy said some bullshit. I really don't remember what she said. And then Jedi says, I don't care, with like 3 mind-blowing emojis. And that was enough, along with her saying like, I don't think everything is active in here. And then she left. All right. So there, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't work well without scripts, but I feel like she's just so fake. Like she'll be acting fine one moment, and then the next she's acting like somebody else. I'm sorry. I'll pass it on to.
Alright, so I met Cammy in late May. And me and Cammy decided to do a joke where we were in a quote-unquote relationship. So like fast forward to a couple of weeks later, like late June. Me, Sunblaze, Cammy, and Goose decided to play Minecraft. Me and Cammy decided to start goofing around in different places in the game. And then we get we get to a part. Then we get to a part in a Blaze's server called Moist Under the Wrap. Keep in mind, this was a joke that the entire group chat made because another particular person decided to reference it. Yeah, so me and Cammy went into the Moist Dungeons of Rap, and we we did stupid things. Keep in mind, I was very uncomfortable about telling my age to basically any of these people because they're strangers to me and I don't know. So I claimed I was 14, but I was 12 at the time. Then after that, Cammy decided to start calling me a groomer. But Cammy is around 19 days older than me, but no one believed me. No one believed me. I kept telling basically everyone. I started showing proof, but no one believed me because everyone thought Cammy was the one getting groomed, and it got me separated from most of my friends, and I was pretty devastated. I couldn't believe it. It was like a year of friendship just split away from me just because of one single person. And also, she made a group chat just like Butterdog and a Goose. She made a group chat where I was not in it, called group that we won't tell group that doesn't have Anim because he sucked, and still kept accusing me of a groomer. I told her sorry multiple times. She accepted it, but she kept bringing it up for no reason. Alright, I'm gonna pass the mic to Goose.
So I feel like that concludes what we're really gonna say here. Cammy, I know you're fucking watching this. I'm going to kind of give you an ultimatum. Either try improving yourself, or just fuck off, simply as possible. That's gonna be all that we really talk about. This is our experiences with Cammy Cat Lover. Make sure to like and subscribe so the penguin men come to your house and give you a hug. Good night.
It's actually Penguin Man the 360 edition X.